This haul is bad. Or is it? Hey, and welcome to Cappuccino for another haul. This time it's my March haul part 1. Because I got half of my March order pre-order from Onmyoji, I also got some stuff which was supposed to come in January and February, and it's finally here, and I'm happy, and I'm not so happy. First we will start with something good, and then you will see over the course of this video what I mean with this time I just had no luck with anything. Really, I didn't have much luck with it, and I must say the figures that I received this time are kinda a disappointment for me and kinda not. So let's get right into it. And first I want to showcase you this super cute new card of Miku as a magical girl. It's adorable, really adorable. I really love that they are doing these artworks again. Well, with this out of the way, I guess, or I'm not quite sure how I should start. Should I start with the worst? Should I start with the best? We will start with something pleasing first. And that's a Neko plush. You know me by now. I can't resist Neko plush. This one is a cute little one. It's a sand kitty and Neko dango are they called. Here's their little card with it, and they even have an Instagram and a line where you can follow them. And this is so cute. I was so happy when I first saw the dango cats. They were all sold out, but luckily someone seemed to cancel this sand kitty and I could get her. She was my favorite because I love how much detail they put into the markings of her. Jeez. You hear that? There's some kind of sand or little pearls in the bottom, so she sits flush. And I love her. Another addition to my little cat shrine. And I also got a second one of them, but this one is a present for someone who just lost their little fur friend, and this one resembles it, so this will be a gift, and I'm happy with it. The softest fur, the fur is soft. Softest fur. That always happens to me. My brain is working faster than my words, so I mix it up and say it in the wrong order. Does this happen to everyone else? Or is this just me? Okay, anyway. And now to something that's not as pleasing, but I was so excited to get her. Do you know this feeling like when you're really excited for a figure and you can't wait and you have seen the pictures and it's great, and then you receive yours and yours is the most faulty one they ever produced? Well, that happened with all my figures in this haul. Maybe except one. But we will start with the Hatsune Miku, and it's from the Wonderland series, and this time it's Snow White. I was so hyped for her, and she's finally here. And what do I see after I unbox her? One of her pigtails is smeared and smudged with some dark color, so I guess there's some paint transfer from her dress onto the hair strands. And the other hair strand is a mess of not glue lines, but really rough edges. So you see the lines where they connected every plastic piece with each other. It was not sandpapered enough, or I don't know what process they do to remove excess mold, plastic, PVC over. I'm not exactly sure what the English word would. Plastic excess, maybe? Yeah. And that's over the whole figure. So everywhere you really see these lines with some rough edges on her knees, on her legs. There are the ones on her dress, on her hair. At least the apple is round and not rough or having edges, I guess. And the next really disappointing thing about her is that her paint job is a mess. I have a lot of paint transfers on her legs, on the pigtail as I said, and also on her yellow dress. I have no idea if everything will show up on camera, but I will show you the best that I can. But she also has some positive things that I can say. First off, I really adore her face. They did an amazing job with it. The eye painting, her mouth, everything there looks perfect. I just wish they would have done this everywhere. Her red bows all around her costume are also really crisp and look nicely done. There's no paint transfer there. Her apple looks a little bit plasticky, but otherwise it's really fine. The gold lines, the gold trims around her dress are really sloppy painted. The gold smeared on some places and bleeded over the lines. So that was not done really good. And on her shoes, there's also some plastic residues and leftovers. So overall, her paint job of my copy is not so good. The paint job on my Red Riding Hood Miku is way better than hers. But if you put them both together, they look at least scale-wise the same height. They look good together. I'm at least happy that they did the face justice and it's not as bad as all the rest of the figure. So if I should give her a number, considering my points, which I just forgot in my last like 5 or 6 videos, giving her a ranking, I would give her 8 out of 10 points, because otherwise the sculpt is really nice. It just has rough edges and a lot of paint transfer, so I deducted 2 points. Because otherwise the face is still a hit. We still have sharp lines of her hair. It's no clumpy mess. And overall, I still really love her, especially look at her from afar. I also love the design they have chosen for her base, which is in bitten apple. I really love this reference. And so I'm still happy. I will try to get an eraser, a magic eraser, to get some of the awful paint bleeds on her pigtails away. And I also like that I could push them easily into her head. So she's an 8, whereas my Little Red Riding Hood Miku is definitely a 9. So that's that, Miku. Moving on to something really great. I got the second art book of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I don't know if you watched my art book haul where I got the first version and I said, seeing as the series was still continuing, there will definitely be a second one, and if there is, I will get it. Well, here we are. I got the second one. I was right. We got the second art book. I will say it again. The series is still continuing, so we will definitely get a third one, and I will definitely get the third one as well. And I really love how the first and the second kinda match in the way that the first one was red and this one is more teal colored. It's teal colored, and they look really good next to each other. And again, lots of awesome artworks. I will show you a little bit of it, not too much, so that you can still be excited when you get it. Oh, I love it. Love it. And it's such a nice addition. So I'm happy. So from something super great, we are going back to something awful. And this one is the worst figure that I ever got. Like, she's awful. I got the worst sample of all probably produced. And that would be a infamous pop-up parade of the Dark Magician Girl. If you look at her from afar like this, she looks fine, she looks super good. And I really love her face. They nailed the face, the mouth sculpt, and her eye painting is beautiful. I love the paint edges on her super pointy, spiky hair. They still have done an amazing job on sculpting her fingers. All are really cute. And I love her overall pose, and it's cute. And that's it. Everything else is a miss. Starting with the tip of her head. It looks like someone scrunched into it because there's some structure which I think is not supposed to be there. Going down, we had a lot of missed lines. All of it bleeded onto the blue. Nothing is really sharp in the painting. Her armbands are the worst, especially with her gems, which are either bleeding out of their little bubble, whatever it is, or they are not fully painted. I have another little dent into the mold, and it just continues like this. Like, all the lines are a miss. They are not painted good. Someone seemed to have touched the figure because on the underside of her cape there's some scratches and also some kind of fingerprints. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks horrible. Then I have also a lot of paint transfers on her legs and other parts, and oh, she's so bad. I've never seen one of my figures having so much issues as she has. And the thing is, I don't think you will really see it in the footage. And it's just like I'm over-exaggerating her problems, which seems to be fine on camera, I think. But oh man, is she bad. Also, some of her hair has some strange residues, maybe sticky residues from the glue. I don't know what. It looks strange, and oh, I'm so sad. I mean, I love this figure. I was excited for her, and now she's such a bad quality. Oh, it's so annoying. Like, I want them to be perfect. I don't expect them to be scale figure perfect, but this is just awful. And maybe I'm a bit too mean about it and too critical, but I would only give her a 7 out of 10 because of all the issues that she has. At least she's secure on her pink base and she looks really good next to Yami Yugi. Like, he just summoned her. Well, without a dual disc, but oh, anyway, we will do with what we have. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame when you expect figures and you're hyped for figures and then you get them and you get the worst out of all the produced one, which seemed to be the case for me here. Sad. Really sad. At least if you look at her from afar, she's still fine. And it could be worse. She could have been broken off from her support piece. That would have been even worse. And I mean, I still gave her a 7, so it's still fine. I'm just so sad about all these issues because all the figures I have received so far have never had so many issues like she has. So she's really the worst, and I don't regret getting her. I'm just sad that I got a bad sample, I guess. We will just move along to something much better, and which I'm super happy about, because after this dump I need a little bit of andromorphin. And I got something new from Onmyoji, and these are 2 Shiki boards, which make me regret not getting the other 2 because it's a 4 set. I totally forgot to pre-order them at first because they have written a strange title on Ami what kind of Shiki board this was supposed to be. Something like foil Shiki board, and I didn't know what this is supposed to mean. But it's just a regular Shiki board. And of course, the first one is Otakemaru. His art style. He's sitting on a treasure of a lot of gold coins and having an infamous smirk on his face with his little lightning circle around him and his golden mask, which look phenomenal. It's really high quality. The gold is sparkling in the light, and I'm so happy that someone canceled this and I could pre-order it. And the second one I got was Enmusubi, which is also super adorable with the kitty, which is happy with her. And just for your information, Enmusubi no Kami is the goddess of fate, and she connects the people who are in love with each other or supposed to be in love with each other and binds them for life. So the goddess of not exactly love, but more like fate, I think. And she has this super cute kitty and the cherry blossom, like how it's right now outside, and it's really cute, her lovely smile. And it's the same, I also didn't pre-order her. She just came into stock because someone else was canceling her, and I immediately hit pre-order. No second guesses, and I regret nothing except not ordering the other two. Thinking about what I should show you next, we will go with another merch. And it's something from Sumikko Gurashi. I got a bowl, a rice bowl, because there are shibas on it. And I love shibas. The bowl is smaller than I was expecting it, but otherwise the quality is fine. It again came not broken, even though there was no protection, but everything is fine. And you have some nice cute designs of Sumikko Gurashi when you display it like this for waiting, für mate, which is waiting. So when you have it in your dish drawer, then you will see how they all sit there. And the cutest thing is that they are saying, the Neko says "nyaman," and "wan" is the Japanese word for what a dog does when he barks, and "nyan" when a cat meows. So "nyam wan" is so cute. And all the other ones are also saying "wan," and the last little one is an actual Shiba who says "wan." I think. I hope I pronounced this right. Anyway. And there's also Mount Fuji, which is absolutely adorable. And when you have rice in it, then you see the other painting, which them are all eating onigiris. Super cute, and some Shiba butts, and so adorable. Now I have a rice bowl. I love this rice bowl. We got another figure, another kind of price figure, and one I was super excited about. And it's another Hatsune Miku. It's my very first Noodle Stopper. And it's the Hatsune Miku villain version. I love her. She's the best of all the figures that I got. They nailed her face. I love her face. I love her shark teeth. I love how she looks up, so that you can display her a little bit lower and she will look up to you. I love the horns with the bows in her head. And I also love that she came pre-assembled, so I had not to assemble her pigtails into her head. I love the wavy form they have given her hair, and I love how they have done the back of her head. Overall, the paint job is really good. I have a few spots like on her ankle where she wears this ankle bracelet, I think, where the paint job is not that good, and a bit on the golden hearts on her arms, which have bleeded just a little bit onto the black. But otherwise the gradient of her sleeves is beautiful. Her dress is amazing with all the rips in it and little holes, so you can see her ghastly pale legs simmering through, or even her little demon tail at the back of her coming through. So I really love it. I am a little bit sad that I couldn't have given her some more purple into her tail like the original artwork, but it's fine the way she is. She looks super cute. I love her shoes. And the only gripe I would say I have really with her is that her tail really seems plasticky. I wish they would have shown a different material or some different paint finishes, but otherwise she is amazing. So I would give her a 9 out of 10 points, and she even sits nicely on a cup ramen Let me show it to you again. By the way, I would recommend picking this brand up. It's really tasty. I love it. And she sits nicely on it. It's just when you look at her sitting on the cup ramen, you will notice that her hands are not really touching the cup ramen, are more like suspended into the air. It's not such a big problem. Her hands are really nicely detailed and she even has black nail polish on her hands. Yeah, I'm really happy. She is adorable. I'm so happy to get her. She gets a new color variation of this demon version and the new color variation looks also really good. Don't know if I will pick this one up, but I'm happy with this cute little noodle stopper. I got some more merch from Tokyo Revengers. I was talking about it. I got some more acrylic stands from the Kasako line of Tokyo Revengers. First off, from the first version, I got Draken with 3 little kitties in the box. And these kitties are obviously Emma showing her love to the Draken. Then we have Mikey and also Takemichi. And he's pouting a pout on his face. He's pouting. But also really adorable. I'm now just missing Takemichi and Baji, and then I will have this set completed. But for now they are sadly sold out everywhere. I also got acrylics from the second Kasako line of Tokyo Revengers. So first off, I got Shifuyu totally beaten up with the beaten up little Takemichi kitten. Super adorable. He's spouting some little blush on his cheek and it looks so endearing. And I also love that the second line has a different base. It's an hexagonal kind of base in contrast to the first version, which is the round one. Moving along, I also am super happy that they added Katsudora as an acrylic, who has the most adorable umbrella that all of them can have because it's checkered. And also really funny is that you see the little Baji kitty sitting in a puddle and smiling and being happy, and on his shoulder is Shifuyu. I think this is a Shifuyu kitty and I really love this hint to the continuation of the series. We also got a super cute primary schooler, Mikey. He even got a lollipop in his mouth and 5 little kitties following him. Though the first one who is running ahead of him is obviously Baji, and the other 4 his other Toman members which founded Toman. So we have Mitsuya with folded ears as Scottish folds, super adorable. We have Draken which seems to be even having a little earring in his cat ear. We have Katsudora and also Pachin. Pachin? I think Pachin is his name, which is a little fat kitty and it looks super cute. I also really love that this acrylic stand is in scale with all the other acrylic stands, making him smaller than all the others. Also got Shinichiro as an acrylic, which is adorable because he is playing with the Mikey kitty. We have an Emma at the side of his umbrella, and then we have a third kitty, which, careful, this is a spoiler, so if you don't want to know this, better skip it, which would be Izana. Really surprised, really adorable. I really appreciate the thought. The last one is Hanma with a Kisaki kitty. And I don't mind Kisaki, I don't mind Hanma as much. It looks really adorable with the kitty and it really reflects their relationship quite well. And I would say I nearly completed the second one. I'm just missing Kisaki, but I love the Hanma kitty in it, but I don't care for Kisaki. He has done some awful shit which I can't forgive. So I'm not sure if I will get him. I will not get him for now. And to the last figure, which I was also kind of disappointed and kind of not disappointed, is a really controversial one, because already in all the comments on my figure collection there's the discussion about whether GoodSmile Company failed this one or not. I'm talking about this saber figure, Alter Saber figure of the traveling version. What should I say? First, I love the base. Yeah, they did a strange decision in picking the color for the base, but I do love that they have sculpted the bricks, so I really love that. Moving up, I have kinda luck and kinda not lucked out with this figure. First gripe, what everyone was saying about this, is that they messed up her trousers. And yeah, they did, because the promotional pictures, as you can see here, clearly showed a way lighter color of her trousers with highlighted lines than the one that they've presented now. And it seems like failed advertisement. I guess that's the gripe I have with it. Otherwise, the colors are still fine, and that's where I got lucky and unlucky at the same time. Because the pattern of her trousers are painted fairly well on my sample, or my figure at least. I've seen pictures where it was really messy. But someone seemed to have touched her in her crotch area while the paint was still wet, I think, because now it looks like it was removed. I don't know what they've done, but it looks really like someone touched her like this. And now the paint in this area is just faded away. And it looks strange. And yeah, so I have really accurate painting on the pattern itself, but also this really big mistake in the middle, right in the middle of it, the crotch area. Following along, the next issue, which I've seen on the pictures and I was really disappointing about, is the hair sculpt of this saber. Because the finesse of the different strands and her ponytail were really awful in some of the pictures. Like, it was a huge blob in front of her face, and the different strands on her ponytail were awfully glued together, and it looked really horrible in a way. It looked like a prize figure kind of way. But I must say I was lucky in this department, because at least in real life, the front bangs and her ahoge and the really strands on the right side look all really good. There's no clump of mess. They are still sharp at the edges. Her single strands are sculpted beautifully, and the tips are a bit shaded, so she is a bit lacking in the shading department. But I have other figures that are also lacking the shading, and I guess for the price that you paid for her, it's acceptable, seeing as it's supposed to be a GoodSmile Company figure, and all the people I know, because by the way, this is my very first GoodSmile Company scale figure, and I had high expectations in a way. It's kind of disappointing, I must say. And if this is the standard of GoodSmile Company, I have no idea why people are so hyped about them. And I don't know if I can trust them in the future, because it seems to be that their quality control is kind of slipping. Anyway, I'm kind of all over the place with what I want to say. Moving on, when you go to the back of her hair, her bound ponytail is on one side really good. I got lucky there, but on the other side you see where they have attached one of the strands, so they didn't blend it there really nicely. And I must say, in comparison to the Alter Musashi figure, they did not such a good sculpt job on the bound version of her hair. Like, there's nearly no sculpt on the top of her head. Up to the ponytail, just a little bit, but they could have done better, I think. However, there's also a lot of stuff that I really like about this figure. For one, the coffee cup that she holds in her filigrane fingers, which are done beautifully. She has some nice nail polish on the tips of her finger, even though her fingernails are not sculpted that individually. amazing. They did a really good job here with the paint jobs, and you can even read on the cup Knights of the Round Table 2018. Love that. And it's also on her back with the goodies and sweets, and some cookies are inside, I think some coffee and some other stuff. They have done an amazing job there to sculpt this, to make them individually stand out, to even paint the really small checkered space and even some labels. And they could have done it so good. Why are there some faults on it? I didn't expect this. I am a bit disappointed. They did mess up a little bit of the paint job from her jacket in front where her back is, but otherwise I also really love her coat. I really love the coat of this figure. I love the buckles that they have added. They have painted them silver. I love the shiny little buttons on the jacket. I love the design of the jacket, and there's some shading there. So it's not a solid one-colored black, or at least I think there's some shading there. I can't really see it, but if you look at it in the light, there is some highlights and some darker colors, darker black colors in the folds of the coat. So I think there's some shading. It will be interesting to see how this black coat is in comparison to the black outfit of D from My Ethos, because I've seen some pictures and they seem to have not shaded the black color or the black coat of D very well, or even if there's a shading. But we will see which one will be the better coat in the end. Also surprisingly for me, when you assemble her waist detaches from her trousers, which was surprising. I didn't expect this. And also her right shoe comes detached from her feet, from her leg. Mine is really loose, so when you touch it, it has fallen off immediately, which was a surprise because I didn't expect this. You also got two of these little zippers which you need to attach to her detachable foot, which is great and awful at the same time. I think you know what I mean. I love the design of her shoes, and I also love her really dynamic pose in a way. The stockings has some good shading on it and overall look really great. And I'm still really happy to have her, especially when you look at her face. Her face, they nailed it. I love her eyes. I love her expression. It's definitely saber alter saber. And I really also love the necktie that she's wearing, because there's some checkered pattern on it, which I did not see in the prototype images. So I was really nicely surprised by this. So I'm happy about that. I want to display her next to my Musashi in her casual wear. And interestingly, I didn't notice this before, except for the moment when I put them next to each other. They have the same pose, or a really similar pose, and they still look really great next to each other. Height-wise, they're around the same. Saber is a little bit elevated because of the base, but otherwise they're the same height, though they look really good next to each other. I also love the difference between them, like that Musashi got more of a peachy colored skin tone, whereas Saber Alter got more of a ghostly white one. I also love that Saber is more on the thin side, on the thinner side of body form or of body structure, whereas Musashi is more of a little plump girl and with a lot of curves, and I love this. This looks really great next to each other. Also, I must say that Musashi has smaller hands than Alter, which is also funny, but I love all these differences, and yeah, it looks really well next to each other, so I'm happy about that. I'm still love the traveling version. I can't wait for the next two. I hope they will also look great next to these two, because then I would be really happy about it. All things considered, with all the flaws that she has and doesn't have, I gave her an 8 out of 10 points. I considered giving her a 9. But with this flaw in the middle of her trousers and her feet falling off at every time that I touch her, I can't just give her 9 points. That's way worse than I had other figures. But overall, I think I still got pretty lucky with my version at least. And I'm still happy to have her. I don't regret getting her. I still love her colors, even though her trousers are not as popping as they did in the promotional pictures. And I do think that the shading on her hair could have been improved, but it's okay. It's fine. I just was unlucky this time with all my figures, it seems, except for maybe for my Noodle Stopper, which was great, and all my merch stuff, which was also super great. And yeah, that's it for this video. There will be a part 2 when I get my part 2, which could be like in summer. Because I got my Army package with DHL, and DHL is in Germany DHL Express, and it was freaking expensive, and no way in hell am I gonna pay the taxes for this ever again, because it was unreasonable. So I will probably send a lot of my stuff via Surface again, so you won't see as many stuff in the next few weeks, I guess, if they don't get delayed anyway. So that was it for this video. I will catch you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Do write me what you liked of this haul. I love to communicate with you people over my comments. It's really fun to talk with you. I always enjoy your lovely comments. There are a lot of nice people who are complimenting my videos, and I'm so happy about you guys. I thank all my new subscribers. For all who are watching this and are not subscribed, maybe you consider it if you like what you see. And until then, I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye bye.